So I am currently doing my own freelance consulting business, brand business, and if it weren't for getting into coaching, I don't know that I would actually be as clear on what it is that I'm doing right now. And that's sort of where my story with you, Ian, started. Was your social content? I think it was LinkedIn. Really resonated with me. The stuff that you talked about when it came to like symptoms and overthinking versus taking action, I was like, wow, that's me. That's exactly me. That's what I'm dealing with right now. I need clarity around what it is. Coaching gets thrown around a lot these days, right? Everybody's kind of a coach in some way, it seems, anymore. I was concerned, maybe not necessarily with, you specifically. It was kind of just taking the leap of, hey, coaching is this sort of new, I don't want to say it's a new field, but it's not like, you don't have as many, say, like professional credentials as you would with like a therapist or, a doctor. So you kind of are a little uncertain of like what you're getting when it comes to engaging with coaching a lot. So that was just a broad, you know, yeah. So it was your one workshop where you had talked about sort of the ADHD productivity system and how you articulated really well the struggles and you visualized it too, which was great. Struggles that I was facing with like regulation, externalizing things, knowing how to prioritize things, and that sort of put me at ease a little bit. So when we started, I was kind of in limbo professionally, and I was dealing with a lot of stuff personally too, and it was all just kind of floating around in my head. I didn't really know how to get it down on paper, as silly as that sounds, and how to make a plan to get clarity with my professional situation, and that also affects my personal life too. So I think you gave a pretty clear outline of like, hey, spend some time answering these questions and getting your thoughts on paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's another big thing. It didn't have to be perfect at the start. That's the key, and that's probably the biggest thing in the journey now. Is you've been sort of like a, I don't want to say like voice of reason, but like you're the voice that's there saying, hey, you don't have to figure everything else out. Like here's what seems like the right thing for you to do right now. And it's very much like, it does seem like you have, like I said before, the experience of going through all this stuff, and like, me at this point and how I react in situations and what I would need to do versus what I'm like trying to do, which is usually, everything all at once. I had more confidence and courage to go after something for my business, which was basically asking for more money than what I was making before. So you helped me figure out a way to systematically put things together with my business that enabled me to sort of, not sort of, but actually triple my income from where it was at prior to us working together. So that's cool. The biggest thing that I've noticed is I don't get stuck as much in the analysis paralysis, trying to have a perfect plan, trying to have a perfect system for everything. And that has just unlocked me professionally, personally too. It spills over to my personal life. I don't feel like I have to figure it all out. I can take steps towards, baby steps towards just getting something on paper. That's the biggest thing, is getting it on paper. With the community, the really cool thing about it is, other than just being surrounded by people who are going through the same struggles or the same, professional situations and have the same goals and whatnot, is you'll get ideas from people that are really related to things that you may have struggled with for a long time, that like they have figured out, and they're just super willing to share that. I'll give you an example. There was a yearly planning webinar that you ran in early January. And one thing that came up on that call was another community member said, oh, hey, I use this web app called Brain FM to get into a flow state. And ever since then, I've been using it, and it feels kind of like a game changer for me. And that's just like a little example of what came out of the community, which is super cool. Yeah. If you're considering it, I would assume that you've probably tried a lot of different stuff yourself. You've probably tried a lot of either systems or things that you stuck with for, 3 weeks, really hardcore, and then just totally fell off. That is the biggest thing for me, breaking things down and having somebody like you to like not just hold me accountable, but to like give me some of that guidance, but also like push me off and say, hey, all right, just go, here's your framework, go figure it out now. So it's this balance of like, there's certainly a little bit of hand holding, which is needed, I think, for me and for a lot of people with ADHD, especially in the beginning. Yeah. So walking that line and then like clearly showing me like, hey, I'm capable, I could do this stuff, I have the tools that I need. I just need to learn a little bit better how to manage myself, regulate myself. And that's huge.